Ladies and gentlemen, hello to each and every one of you. Once again, you are welcome here on the Tribune of Awakening Consciousness. It's making international headlines. This spectacular turnaround by the man who presented himself as a model president, as a president respectful of democratic values, Republican values, general of the army, Ambalo Sissoko, who went to Burkina Faso, attempting to sow total disorder at the time as the acting president of ECOWAS. This General Ambalo Sissoko, who went to join the malevolent team of ECOWAS to try to overthrow the regime of General Abdou Aman Chani, this General Ambalo Sissoko now wants to cling to power indefinitely. We held a video conference here the last time we touched on this aspect. In his ultimate ambition to remain in power, he expelled the ECOWAS delegation, which had traveled to his territory since February 21st. An ECOWAS mission was on his territory from February 21st to February 28th. They should have continued the work, I was going to say, but they were expelled. They were forced to flee, to leave early in the morning of March 1st, 2025. General Ambalo Sissoko. His mandate expired on February 27th. In 2025, he is no longer the legitimate or legal president. He now imposes himself by force on the Bissau-Guinean people. This gentleman, we remember in 2022 what he said regarding Burkina Faso, when he said that Burkina should not collaborate with Russia, when he said that Burkina Faso, whether it be Burkina or Mali or Niger, should continue to collaborate with France. First, in addition to the fact that he himself abandoned collaboration with France, he got closer to Russia. You remember last time we hosted a video conference during which we said certainly he wants to stay in power. That's why he's changing partners. Yes, it's good to move towards Russia. Well, whatever happens. The Russian president does not interfere in the internal affairs of a country. If you want, choose the man you want. If you want, let the people impose their power on you. The main thing is that the one in power is from your country. Russia will nevertheless collaborate with you because Russia also has its foreign policy. There's nothing we can do about it. Russia seeks to expand its range, its network of relations with African heads of state. So when you come towards Russia, Russia has nothing to say. But Russia had wished that in the next elections, Russia's desire was to see Ambalo re-elected. It's quite normal, the wish one can express towards a foreigner who is about to go to elections. But the problem is that Ambalo does not want to organize the elections. What you need to remember is what he did. To make a decision by the Supreme Court to extend, obviously, his term until September, I believe. September 4th. Now, legally, this is not provided for by the Constitution of Guinea-Bissau, but at least if he stuck to that, he does not stick to that. He has planned to organize legislative and presidential elections in 2025, in November 2025. What proves that he will organize them? He has no intention. He is military. He has seen in other countries, others have taken power by force. They are there, and their terms only keep increasing. So he too wants to transform his power. He knows he is no longer loved. No one will be able to vote for him since in his country he has shown his limits, especially when he stood against the people, brother of the brotherly peoples of Guinea-Bissau. I'm talking about Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. His own people were not happy with him. And how many failed attempts. It has always been, by the way, the wish of the most committed Pan-Africans to see General Ambalo leave power, but we don't know. What has changed? What is changing is the greed for power. He no longer wants to leave. It's now clear. Otherwise, this gentleman who was president of ECOWAS yesterday, ECOWAS was good. Why is ECOWAS bad today? ECOWAS issued a statement, which we will see shortly. It is today that ECOWAS has become bad. Until they expel them. Yes, just because there's a saying from our place that goes, it is the dogs that know each other, that bite each other. Yes. He saw something. He knows something about this ECOWAS affair. We are going to delve deeper. But before continuing, as usual, I ask you to share this video conference as much as possible. Share it in all groups and with everyone who is not subscribed. Please subscribe. Please invite your friends to subscribe. But above all, share the video conference. Leave lots of comments, as this is a video that will go very far. When you leave your comments, when you share, people will see your profile. They will subscribe to your profile. That's how it is. The situation has changed. There you go. So you should always leave comments before sharing. That's what it's about. So, then, in any case, General Ambalo Sissoco no longer wants to leave power. It's already noticeable. ECOWAS issued a statement, a press release from the high-level political mission ECOWAS, a mission in Guinea-Bissau. I almost forgot. It wasn't just the ECOWAS mission even. UN envoys were there, but he drove them all away. They threatened with expulsion. That's the diplomatic term used in the ECOWAS statement. So, according to the statement says this. On the instruction of the Conference of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliou Touray, deployed a high-level political mission in Guinea-Bissau from February 21 to 28, 2025, in order to support the efforts of political actors and other partners and stakeholders to reach a political consensus on a roadmap for holding inclusive, legislative and presidential peaceful elections in 2025. That was the objective. So when they arrived, they were received in an audience by General Ambalo. Then they met with all the stakeholders, whether political figures, civil society, all the stakeholders. So, following these meetings, imagine it's a work that took quite some time. Several days, February 21st to February 28th. So after all that, they produced an agreement that was supposed to be the political consensus, which was to be signed. So the roadmap that would allow ECOWAS to keep an eye on the situation in Guinea-Bissau, to know what they agreed upon on what. So the stakeholders were supposed to sign, so the major political actors, civil society, all components of the nation, including General Ambalo, he himself was supposed to sign, but apparently he heard about the content. It was not favorable to him, because if he signs this agreement, he will be obliged to follow to the letter what is written. And if he deviates from the rule, they can send a military contingent to remove him from power. It's the same initiative they had taken against Niger. So he doesn't want to have it hanging over his head like the sword of Damocles. That's why he threatened them with expulsion. So leave. Your mission is over. So they left just like that. They also issued a statement, and in the statement they specifically noted, they said this in their official capacity. They said the mission left Guinea-Bissau on March 1st in the early morning, following an expulsion threat made by His Excellency Umaro Sissoco Ambalo. There you go. In the statement, they say that the mission will present its report to the President of the ECOWAS Commission, including its proposal on how to find a consensual roadmap for conducting peaceful, inclusive elections in 2025. So, the Commission resolved by saying that they will present this to the one who sent them. and so. Ladies and gentlemen, here is where the problem of Guinea-Bissau begins. Can we believe, who could have believed that someone like General Ambalo Sissoko, who presented himself as a model president, a president respectful of democratic rules, the very one who labeled the Burkinabe president, the Malian president, the Nigerian president as junta leaders, has himself become a junta leader since he is in a sort of constitutional coup because he is out of time. He is beyond his mandate. And so imagine we ourselves didn't even know when his mandate ended. If we had known for a long time, we would have talked about it a bit. A 5-year mandate, if I'm not mistaken. He stays there until time runs out. Why hasn't he organized either legislative or presidential elections? Why hasn't he organized any of that the last year, 2024, so that he could hand over power to someone else or be re-elected with dignity? So, the real problem for those who do not understand, soon we will witness the elimination of so-called democratic regimes in Africa. Very soon, there will no longer be democratic regimes in Africa. All those who find themselves in power will cling to power. We will have to address this part substantially. You will understand these are political changes the continent is facing. These political changes, yes, and down there where he is, he can put on his military uniform again and say, well, it's fine. The country has this and that. So no more elections, etc., etc. He establishes martial law and so on and so on. We will come back to provide more details. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, having reached this point, I just want to thank each and every one of you for your contributions to the realization of the video conference. Don't forget to share it as much as possible. I will be back shortly, by the grace of the Almighty, with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only Samurai.